Hello students, welcome back. In the previous class we have discussed the species diversity on earth and species diversity in India. Now in this class we will start up with the patterns of biodiversity. This is also one of the important topic, patterns of biodiversity. Yeah, what exactly is the patterns of biodiversity? See, the diversity of plant and animal species, it is not uniform throughout the world, isn't it? Rather, it shows uneven distribution. The species diversity all over the world, it is not at all uniform. It is unevenly distributed and it usually differs from place to place. Why it differs from place to place? See, for example, certain plant species which are growing in our state which cannot be cultivated in some other state, and the plants which are growing in that particular area that cannot be grown in our area. So what is the reason? It is mainly because of the species diversity. It mainly depends upon the environmental conditions of the area and the range of tolerance of the species. So it depends upon environmental conditions of the area. It means in our state the environmental conditions are quite different and in some other area in some other state there the environmental conditions are different, and you know that the plants are well adapted to the environmental conditions. So due to the adaptation property, the plants which are growing in this area, they are adapted to this particular environmental condition, and the plants which are growing in other area, they are adapted to that particular environmental conditions. That's why the species diversity mainly depends upon the environmental condition and the range of tolerance of the species. So as we try to cultivate the plants which are growing in our state, in some other area like in Kashmir, the plants cannot adjust to that environmental condition. That is called a tolerance. Plants cannot tolerate the change in environmental condition. So here for these environmental conditions they are adjusted, but they cannot tolerate the other climatic conditions or environmental conditions. That's why species diversity mainly depends upon the environmental conditions of the area and the range of tolerance of the species. And this species diversity, it is mainly influenced by the latitudinal gradient, latitudinal and altitudinal gradient. Yeah, species diversity, it is influenced by both latitudinal and altitudinal gradient. So what is this latitude? Here latitude is nothing but the angular distance. It is the angular distance. See, when you look at the globe, so on the globe you may have seen this is the central line, it is called as equatorial plane or it is called as equator. You may have seen the horizontal lines and the vertical lines like this. Here the vertical lines indicates longitude. So the vertical lines indicates longitude, but the horizontal lines indicates the latitude, and latitude is nothing but the angular distance. Then what is altitude? Here altitude, it is the height measured from the sea level. The height measured from the sea level. So above the sea level, we can measure this height from the sea level at any point. See, for example, in our area, what is the altitude we can able to measure, and in some other hilly regions, there the altitude is higher. So at the bottom of the hill region, the altitude is different, and at the top of the hilly region, the altitude is different. We are measuring the height from the sea level. From the sea level, that is called as altitude. So when you look at the globe, the water bodies are everywhere, it is present, and from the water body, from the sea level, the height can be measured from any point. That is called altitude, but latitude refers to the angular distance. The angular distance. And I told you species diversity, it mainly influenced by the latitudinal gradient and altitudinal gradient. are different patterns of biodiversity. Among that, the well-being and important one is the latitudinal gradient. So now we will discuss the latitudinal gradient. It is one of the important pattern of biodiversity. It is a latitudinal gradient. So first pattern of biodiversity we are discussing, it is the latitudinal gradient. So what does latitudinal gradient says? You know, when you look at the planet Earth or when you look at the globe, so this is the central line, it is called as equator, and these are the polar region. This is North Pole and this is the South Pole. And this equator, here at the equator it has low latitude. So at the equatorial region, it is having low latitude, but towards the polar region, it has a high latitude. It has high latitude. So we can say that from the equator, the latitude will be increasing towards the poles, isn't it? At the equator, it has a low latitude, but the latitude will be increasing towards the poles. But very importantly, as we move away from the equator towards the polar region, the species diversity decreases. When we move away from the equator towards the poles, the species diversity decreases. Or as we can say, the species diversity increases when we move away from the poles towards the equator. So I am saying two statements here. If we move away from the equator towards the poles, species diversity decreases. Or if we move from poles towards the equator, the species diversity increases. In general, I can give you one conclusion is that with the increase in latitude, the species diversity decreases. With the increase in latitude, the species diversity decreases. But how with increase in latitude the species diversity decreases? When I give the examples, you will understand clearly. So I told you with increase in latitude, the species diversity decreases. This is very important. So let us see how with the increase in latitude, how species diversity decreases. For example, I am considering here, so this particular region is called as Colombia, and you know Colombia, which is located very near to the equator. So Colombia, it is located very near to the equator, and this Colombia having the number of bird species about 1400 species of birds. So Colombia region, it is located very near to the equator, and you know at the equator it has low latitude, but the number of bird species about 1400. When we move at the higher altitude, so this is the New York. So New York, which is located at 41 degree north, so towards the North Pole. So it is 41 degree north, which contains only 105 species of birds. Only I am considering bird species as example. Here Colombia comprising 1400 species of birds and New York comprising of 105 species of birds. Again, we will move to the still more higher altitude. This is the Greenland. And this Greenland, which is located at 71 degree north, and it is having only 56 species of birds. Just look at the diagram again. Here Colombia, which is located at the equator but having 1400 species, and it is having low latitude. And New York, which is located at 41 degree north, having 105 species. Here the latitude is increasing but the number of species decreasing. Again, when we move on to the Greenland, which is 71 degree north, so it is again the latitude is increasing but the number of species decreasing. This is very important. That is what I told you. With the increase in latitude, the number of species or species diversity will going to decrease. And this region, the equatorial region, so this equatorial region about 23.5 degree north and 23.5 degrees south, it is considered as tropical region. Tropics. So in the equatorial region about 23.5 degree north and 23.5 degree south, it is considered as a tropical region, and the tropics which harbors more species diversity when compared to that of the temperate region. So these polar regions, the polar regions are called as temperate regions. So both the poles, they are called as temperate regions, but the equatorial region is called as tropical region, and every time at the equator or at the tropical region, it has a low latitude but which harbors more species diversity. At the tropical region, there is a maximum biodiversity or species diversity than that of the temperate regions or polar regions. And you know, India with its most of the land area at the tropical region. See, in the tropical region, India is located. I have drawn a simple rough diagram. So, India with most of its land area towards the tropical latitude, having about 1,200 bird species. As India is also located in the tropical region, the number of bird species is more, that is about 1,200 species of birds. So this is how with the increase in latitude the species diversity decreases. We'll take one more example. I am taking the comparison of a forest which is located in the tropical region and another forest which is located in the temperate region. See, in the tropical region there is one forest area. So I am taking a forest area at the equatorial region, or we can say at the tropical region, and I will take a same equal area at the temperate region. Especially I am considering the Midwest of USA. So here it is the Midwest of USA, which is a temperate area. So here in the tropical region there is a forest, even in the temperate region there is a forest, and both contains vascular plants. Different types of plant species are there, different types of animal species are there, but here I am comparing only the vascular plants which are present in the tropical region and temperate region. So here in this tropical region, the number of vascular plants which are present in this tropical region, which is 10 times more than that of the temperate region. Try to understand. So here in this tropical region, the number of vascular plants which are present in the tropical region, which is 10 times more than that of the temperate region. What is the reason? Because here it has a low latitude, here it has a high latitude. That's why with the increase in latitude, the species diversity will be decreasing. So one thing we should understand, the equatorial region, the tropical region always having more species diversity, and the temperate regions or the polar regions have less species diversity. Then where do we found maximum biodiversity? So here the maximum biodiversity, it occurs in, so maximum species diversity occurs in the Amazon rainforest. Amazon rainforest of South America. So in the South America, there is a Amazon rainforest which is located around here. So here we can find the presence of the Amazon rainforest. Just consider this as Amazon rainforest. So Amazon rainforest, the maximum biodiversity can be seen in Amazon rainforest of South America, and this Amazon tropical rainforest which has the richest or highest species diversity on the earth. the maximum biodiversity. We can say this Amazon forest or Amazon rainforest having maximum or highest or richest biodiversity on earth, because when we know the number of species we can understand why it is having the richest biodiversity. This Amazon rainforest, which has about 40,000 species of plants, 40,000 species of plants and 3,000 species of fishes, 3,000 species of fishes and 1,300 species of birds, about 427 of mammals and 427 amphibians and 378 reptiles and more than 1,25,000 species of invertebrates. So these many number of species we cannot find in any other part of the world. That's why Amazon rainforest has the richest biodiversity with the 40,000 species of plants, 3,000 species of fishes, 1,300 species birds, 427 mammals, 427 amphibians, 378 reptiles and more than 1,25,000 species invertebrates. And scientists estimate that in these rainforests there are about more than 2 million insect species are waiting to be discovered. I told you, most of the species are yet to be discovered. So in this rainforest, more than 2 million insect species are waiting to be discovered and named. So in future, maybe the insect species can be discovered in this rainforest. So this is a few parts about latitudinal gradient. But the question is, what is the reason for the greatest or highest diversity in the tropical region? So Amazon rainforest, which is located in the tropical region, why maximum diversity can be seen in the tropical region? What is the main reason? That is also important. Now we will see the reasons for higher diversity in tropical region. Yeah, the reasons. So I mean to say, what is so special about the tropics that might account for the maximum biodiversity on Earth? Scientists have been proposed various hypotheses in order to understand the reasons, but very few are very interesting. Let us discuss a few reasons. The first and foremost reason why it has maximum biodiversity, because here the speciation, it is a function of time. What do you mean by speciation? Speciation is nothing but the evolution of new species or formation of new species. In tropical region, the speciation occurs, the formation of new species occurs time to time without any disturbance. So what is this disturbance? See, for example, in temperate regions, in these temperate regions, as they are towards the polar regions, here the climate is usually cold, because there is a less temperature and colder climates. Due to colder climates, here ice formation taking place, and sometimes there will be a huge mass of ice called as glacier. So glacier is nothing but a huge mass of ice, or we can say the river of ice. Have you seen the river of ice? So here the glaciers are called as a huge mass of ice or river of ice, which slowly moves over the land. So a river of ice which will be moving over the land. What happens if that huge mass of ice moves over the land? So whatever the plant and animal species which are present on the land, that get killed. So that is called as glaciation. That is called glaciation. So in these temperate areas, they undergone the frequent glaciation. Due to frequent glaciation, it has been destroyed, or it will be destroyed, or it will kill many number of plant and animal species which are present on the land. But no such disturbances can be seen in the tropical region. That is where one main reason why the equatorial region or tropical region having maximum biodiversity. Here we cannot find such glaciations, so there is no such disturbances. Here the speciation or the species will be continued to flourish, and the formation of species takes place millions of years without any disturbance. The species will be continued, the generation will be continued year after year, and it takes place over millions of years without any disturbances. And that's why the tropical region having maximum biodiversity. And here there is a large evolutionary time for species diversification. So many number of plants and many number of animals can be formed, and they increases their speciation or species diversification, everything. So that is one reason. And the second reason is that, so first reason is speciation is a function of time, and second reason is in tropics it has less environmental change. Less environmental change. So here in the tropical region, the climate is less seasonal, it is more constant, and it can be predictable. We know there are different seasons like a winter, summer, rainy season likewise, and we know after rainy season which season will come we can predict because they are constant. So due to this constant environmental change, it leads to niche specialization, or we can say that the species can better adjust with the changing environmental conditions, and which leads to more species diversity. That is important. So in tropical regions, here the climate is less seasonal. Here it is less seasonal, more constant, and it can be predictable. But we cannot predict in these polar regions or in temperate regions because the temperature is very less. Here most of the time the climate is colder, and we don't know when the glaciations occurs. We cannot predict all those things. Unlike in temperate region, the tropical regions are the climate is less seasonal and more constant, and it is predictable. Then the third reason is that here the tropical regions will receive maximum solar energy or sufficient solar energy. See, when the earth rotating on its orbit, here if it is the sunlight, so if it is the sun, so the tropical region or the equatorial regions, they will receive maximum solar energy when compared to the temperate regions. So this equator, it is directly exposed to sun. That's why the equatorial region or tropical region, it will receive maximum solar energy or sufficient solar energy, so that by utilizing solar energy, whatever the plant species which are present in the tropical region, they can synthesize their food. That is called productivity. Productivity is nothing but the rate of biomass production by plants. Because plants are the one and only producers, they can able to synthesize their own organic food. That is called biomass. Here, due to sufficient solar energy, the number of plant species are more. In turn, the productivity is also more. And but in these temperate areas, they receive insufficient solar energy, so that the productivity is also less in these areas. So this is about latitudinal gradient. Here what is very important, with the increase in latitude, the species diversity will be decreasing. That is very important. With the example, you should know, here Colombia, which is located near the equator, having 1400 species birds. Here the number of species, whenever we say the number of species, that is more important for your CET and NEET. And New York at 41 degree north, having 105 species of birds, and Greenland at 71 degree north having only 56 species of birds. This is the one best example that we can say, with the increase in latitude, the species diversity decreases. And very importantly, where do we find the maximum biodiversity? Exactly, the Amazon rainforest, which is located at the South America, having richest biodiversity. Again, the number of species in Amazon rainforest is important, and the reasons The reasons why the tropical regions have maximum biodiversity, these are certain reasons. So this completes the latitudinal gradient. There is one more pattern of biodiversity, that is species area relationship, that we can discuss in the next class. Now we will discuss few objective questions in this class. See question number 12. Deserts, rainforest, mangroves, coral reefs, wetlands, estuaries and alpine meadows can be employed to describe. Option A, genetic diversity. Option B, species diversity. Option C, ecological diversity. Option D, all of the above. So here, deserts, rainforests, mangroves, these are all different types of ecosystems, and ecosystems are mainly related to ecological diversity. That's why here option C is correct, ecological diversity. Because all these examples that they have given, there are different types of ecosystems. And next question, about the total number of species present on the earth, a more conservative and scientifically sound estimate made by. Option A, Robert May. Option B, Robert Constanza. Option C, Alexander von Humboldt. Option D, both A and B. You know, the more conservative and scientifically sound estimate made by Robert May. So option A is correct. And next question, how many species on earth might still be waiting to be discovered and named? So according to IUCN, there are about 1.5 million species. But how many number of species are yet to be discovered? It is option A 1.5 million, option B 6 million, option C 7 million, option D 1.0 million. So you know there are about 6 million species are yet to be discovered and named. Option B. Next question, Robert May places the global species diversity at. Option A 6 millions, option B 7 millions, option C more than 1.5 million, option D less than 1.5 million. You know, Robert May, he places the global species diversity at 7 millions. So these are few objective questions. Remaining we can discuss in the next class.